Welcome to the Airlift Performance Garage, getting you set for your life on air. Today, we'll show you the main steps, plus tips and tricks involved in a typical Airlift Performance 3H install. 3H is our air management system that combines height and pressure sensing technology, giving you unprecedented control over your air suspension. All 3H quarter-inch or 3/8-inch kits can be ordered as a complete air management system or custom configured on our website. These kits also feature our full-color controller, integrated manifold, and robust height sensor arms. Before we get started, remember, this video is an overview and not intended to replace your manual. If you already have an air management system, you can utilize your current tank, compressor, and airlines. In our project car, the compressor system is packed neatly away in the spare tire well. The tank placement here is great because there's easy access to the main components. No matter your tank or water trap configuration, make sure it's installed correctly with easy access to the drain valve and the ability to remove water from the system. To help reduce noise, we use our optional compressor isolator kit, part number 50714. Mount the manifold in an acceptable orientation and securely fasten it to a flat surface. Failure to do so will prevent calibration from completing and preset maintain from operating correctly. If you need to run new airlines or want to check your current ones, be sure they avoid sharp edges, heat sources, and moving or rotating parts, using rubber grommets when passing through compartment walls. Make sure to leave enough length to route cleanly to the manifold. Make sure to use the proper tool while cutting plastic airline. Side cutters can deform the airline and not give you a clean cut, which will cause an unwanted leak. Using an airline cutting tool will ensure that you get a proper cut. Plug the corresponding airlines into the correct ports on the manifold. Before running the wiring, disconnect the battery. Next, determine exactly how you want to run the wiring harness. After terminating the wire ends, plug the red and white striped wire into the red power wire of the compressor. Then plug the black ground wire from the harness into the black wire of the compressor, making sure you have a solid connection. Once your compressor connections are secure, you can plug the main harness into the manifold. Up front, wire the fuse holder to the red power wire and attach it to the positive side of the battery. Then take the black compressor wire and attach it to the chassis ground or to the negative side of the battery. After securing the black fuse holder to the pink ignition wire, locate a proper ignition-supplied fuse. Attach one of our supplied fuse taps to the fuse, then plug the fuse back into the fuse box. Attach the black wire to the spade terminal. Then, insert a 3-amp fuse into the weather-tight fuse holder. A detailed wiring diagram is available for reference in the manual. Shifting our focus to controller installation, there's plenty of wiring available for a variety of custom mounting options. The micro USB plug securely locks into the back of the display, ensuring a stable connection while operating the vehicle and allowing for seamless flush mounting. Our advanced controller design allows for vertical or horizontal hard mounting using the 4-threaded holes on the back of the controller. Moving to height sensor installation, find a solid mounting location on the chassis. Be sure the female sensor plug is not facing up as not to gather debris. The point on the sensor base must be directed toward the connector when the arm is mounted in mid-position. Find a point where the sensor will be directly above the lower linkage mounting surface. Make sure the sensor is removed from obstructions and heat sources. Also ensure the sensor arm has a free range of motion. Use double-sided tape or Velcro to mock up the sensor location. Select your desired linkage mounting point on the suspension. Then check your suspension travel at the marked mounting point by cycling the suspension all the way up and down. With that measured, check travel against the ranges in the manual. Then determine which hole to use on the sensor arm. With the lower arm mounting point determined, you may shorten the rod if needed. Make sure the sensor arm and linkage rod avoid binding and obstructions. After you have attached the linkage rod at the correct angle, cycle the suspension and double-check that suspension travel is within range according to the supplied template from the manual. Use self-tapping screws to securely fasten the sensor to your mounting location. Then route your harness and plug into the female connector. Be sure the wire has some slack and doesn't have any sharp bends. Run your sensor wiring harness line into the trunk of the vehicle. Then hook the line up to the corresponding wires in the main harness. Once that's done, you can reattach the power cable on the battery. If desired, you may shorten your correctly installed sensor arm. Start by removing the 3 Phillips head screws and separating the arm from the sensor, then cut off the excess arm portion. Then use the controller for final verification that the suspension is within range. That wraps up our install for today. Hopefully this overview video has given you insight as to how easy the 3H install really is. You can always find more information about all our products and locate authorized dealers at airliftperformance.com. Thank you for joining us in the Airlift Performance Garage. We hope you enjoy your life on air.